Hey everybody, it's Mike from Monkey Fab Garage. We are back on the Mustang today, and it's a Monday one take update. I am still messing with all the electronics, so we're trying to do ft550 guy in the thing. It's all new to me, so I'm learning as I'm going. If it was easy, I suppose everybody'd be doing it. But we're also like at the point where we're jumping the bridge. I'm showing you how I'm doing this because I don't know. I was watching those guys over putting together Mullet, Devin, and homies at HCR Innovations. We got some of their parts on this guy, and wow, they make it look easy. could y'all make it look a little difficult? So yeah, we're out here finding stuff. We're gonna address this whole harness back, the factory stuff, and we'll just need a few of these wires. We're gonna build a harness that controls all the headlights and switch turn gear, turn signal stuff. They'll sit in the nose and there'll just be a single connector to undo it, and that way if he wants to pull the nose off, it's real easy. The other stuff won't be seen, tucked away, going through the inside. Now we have all kinds of stuff on this engine, right? There's the factory engine stuff, there's a solenoid, there's fuel pressure guys, there's all the engine stuff going on, which I like to think of as its own system. Then there's the chassis stuff going on. I like to think of as its own system as well. I've been going through it, checking it, and we got 12 volts hooked up to right now. And the lights work for the most part. The turn signals don't, but I'm working through that. Yeah, so once that's done, I just need to figure out, how do I marry the ECU to the chassis? So I stared at this guy for a while because they have they give you this nice manual, and you should read it. It's a lot of money that I'm messing with, and I don't want to blow it up. So we do read that and how to connect things. They're very, very specific about their grounds. These guys here, power grounds and their battery ground. So we ran its wires just for that, and we're gonna tie it right in to the battery cable. I'll redo this guy, just whatevs. Thought I had a pretty good ground anyway, but whatevs. We got the main power is already bolted up there, and we were able to use the factory location, and that stud is in there, and it's ready to hook up the 8 gauge wire, and then we got 6 gauge wire coming back from the alternator to the contactor, 2 gauge, whatever. Yeah. So what I did is I opened up their thing and I ran their wizard, and yeah, which, kind of got me part of the way there. Now I have a computer program that'll show you. And then every time I would add something, I'd look and see well, what wire is this? I just build this wire diagram. Hopefully this makes sense. Because we know, we need certain things, this stuff's all easy, pressure sensor needs 5 volts sensor ground and the signal, etc. So we know, I should have this stuff. And then sometimes I would look and I'd be like, I don't have this. What happened to it? There is it's just getting used to the software, right? It's every time they switch the software, you got to figure it out. This is my biggest weak link, is this whole thing here. I tried to do a fancy PowerPoint. I sat down and I was like, I'll just knuckle drag my way through a fancy thing, because I was watching Devin's stuff, man, making it look easy. You guys suck. So what we ended up with was more monkey. More monkey than fabulous. So I came over here with my illiterate, non-spelling self and just started writing down all the things. Hey, I'm gonna use this guy. These are pretty good. I like the bones of these. They're not too bad. And we'll modify it to make it better. And so I know this is gonna be my main fuse thing. I'm gonna make a nice little panel. We made that panel, and it's gonna sit behind the shifter thing under the dash on the panel there, so we'll leave a little tail so you can pull it in and out, and that'll be his access to his main electronics guy, right? So you can check fuses or change relays or whatever he's got to do. But I figure I'll set up something like this. They'll be, this is whatever. So I started writing all this down and what I would need and how I integrate it. How do I make something like this with this Mustang and work with the things we have going on, like the two-step, the trans brake, the park neutral safety switch, things that have to touch between, you know, the computer sphere and the chassis sphere. And then I just started going down the line, right? So I have this guy, so I marked it and what they do, what their triggers are, all that stuff. So basically on the Fuel Tech, it has like a main, a coil, and an injector. So that gave me those three. I use this one as like an auxiliary. So to turn on like a switch power, right? And all the other switch power, I believe is how I have this thought through. But yeah, the good thing about this is it makes you connect all the dots, right? So you got all these numbers, the connectors, but you know, that doesn't show you everything, because like that's just one wire of what might be a 3-wire guy, etc. So we just went down and started, like, here's our sub panel, and it started off, you know, blank, and then as I went and started adding things, I'd go back and, you know, revise the list of where we're adding new connections. So we're making all these dots connect the nano, the park neutral safety switch, the radio, the backup camera system, the trans brake, and the bump. And yeah, I always like to put, you know, print all this stuff out, and that way, you know, my buddy, if he could decipher this stuff in the future, he'll know what it is. I'll try to put it, I do have, you know, not being a complete monkey, just 99%. I did make a big spreadsheet where I write everything down, the wires and triggers and all that stuff, where it goes to, with connectors. So I always have that. So that right there allows me, again, with this guy. So like I tried it, like what's going on with the trans brake? So I went over here, I'm doing my trans brake, and what pen do I need? And it wasn't there at all. I couldn't find trans brake at all. And I thought, well, for certainly I push the button. So then I had to figure out like how to go in here and add that. And then, you know, my brain went to, well, now where's the bump? how do you stage this? So we need, you know, different things. So lots of Googling, lots of video watching. We figured it out. And we got the wires added. So that was a good way to go through adding all these parts. I was listening to Devin. He always gives great advice. One of them is all the answers are here. Whatever your problem is here, right? It's not imaginary or you. It's that. The other one he said was to just take it one system at a time, and I think that's worked out well for this. So I've thought about all one system. The problem is all those one systems got to integrate, right? So that's where you find out where you stepped on your ding dong or not. So what I'm going to do is just mock all this up. We're going to go ahead and build this little panel out once I get my fancy NOS solid state relay and start, you know, wiring all this. I've already finished all the trunk stuff minus the little battery cable guy. I figured I'd wait in case there's any more, you know, magic crowns that have to go all the way to the battery. Yeah, and then we'll start, you know, wiring this stuff up. There's a lot of extra wire. A lot of these are like, you know, 12 volts or 5 volts. They just be all tied into one. There's shielded wire, again, on their channel doing the mullet. They gave a great idea of how to deal with this Tesla shielded cable, which I've been doing it, again, like a monkey for years, but now I can do it more professionally. So if you're watching my channel, I'm sure you're watching Devin's over there, but go check it out. It's been really cool watching those guys. I love to go there and just hang out. So that's how we are doing this. Why not just use a Holly? Because, I don't know, I want to learn something new. Because that way I can say I can do that too. I like getting up in people's faces and telling them that I can do things that they can't. That's fun. So there's my other, this has been the other piece of the pie. Really, just this right here, just this wire diagram right here, and it's been very accurate. So that's where we're at on this guy, the wiring, how we're going about it. I hope that helps you guys. I hope some of that makes sense. If you guys have any questions on this stuff, let me know. I'm always happy to help. I'm, you know, learning as I'm going along too. So, yeah. It didn't seem like I had done much this week, but we've actually done quite a bit with all this stuff. And now it's just a matter of, you know, laying it all out and making sure that it's going to work. So until next week, this is Michael Monkey Fab signing out.